What's going on, guys? It's your boy TA113DAGA, back with a video. The March Madness bracket got revealed. So, all 64 teams, or 68 teams were announced. I am furious that Texas A&M didn't make it. I had them pretty much going to the Sweet 16, depending who they were playing. I am just beside myself, actually, that Texas A&M didn't make it, but that is probably for a rant later tonight. Right now, this is like my rough draft of what I'm thinking for the tournament. The tournament in a whole, I think some divisions, some parts of the bracket are amazing, some parts are terrible. This is going to be a mostly unedited version of just me freelance talking about the games that are going to be coming up. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's just jump right into the Western bracket. Gonzaga versus Georgia State. There's no debate here. Gonzaga is going to easily take Georgia State. Boise State versus Memphis. Memphis didn't look that great against Houston today. They were on a 6-game win streak, and then And Boise State's looking fantastic right now. So I've got to go with the hot hand, the Boise State Broncos. UConn versus New Mexico State. I see this going either way, really. New Mexico State can shoot the 3-ball really good, whatever. UConn's a meh. They're a really weak 5th seed, I think. So, I think I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to go with New Mexico State. Arkansas versus Vermont. I want to say Vermont wins this game. I really want to say Vermont. But I just got to go with Arkansas. I think they're just flat out better than Vermont. And I already have New Mexico State beating UConn, so we're going to go there. Alabama versus either Rutgers or Notre Dame. I don't think either of these teams deserve to be in, and Texas A&M should have 100% deserved this spot because they would have beaten Alabama and then probably beaten Texas Tech, but that's for a rant later today. I'm going to have Alabama win this game, but very upset that Texas A&M is not playing Bama in this first round. Texas Tech versus Montana State. Yeah, I'm just going to take Texas Tech without asking many questions. Michigan State versus Davidson. As a Michigan State Spartan fan, this game scares me. This game really scares me. So before I go on, the 5 teams I'm liking in this bracket: Michigan State, UAB, Loyola Chicago. It was Michigan State, UAB, Loyola Chicago. It was Marquette and Virginia Tech. Those were my 5 teams. I am going to go with Michigan State. Michigan State. I'm going to take Michigan State in this game. Duke versus Cal State Full Duke. I don't even need to. Duke's winning this game. They've looked terrible, but Duke's going to win this game. Gonzaga versus Boise State. I think this game's a lot closer than many people think. I think Boise State gives Gonzaga a run for their money, possible overtime. But I think Chet Holmgren and the crew are just too good. I got to take Gonzaga in this game. New Mexico State versus Arkansas. Same thing with this. I think New Mexico State gives Arkansas a run for their money. I really do. But I got to take Arkansas to beat New Mexico State. Alabama versus Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech, the game's close for the first half and a half. So for the first 30 minutes of the game. And then I feel like Texas Tech kind of runs away with it with like 8 minutes to go. So I'm going to take Texas Tech. Michigan State versus Duke. Now here's where the problem entails. I don't think Duke's been playing good. I really don't. I think Michigan State has been playing better. I think most Big Ten teams, besides Michigan, which that should have been Texas A&M, but that's, again, I'm going to take Michigan State. I don't think Duke's been playing good basketball. I think they're young. Michigan State's young. I think it's going to come over to who turns the ball over less, and honestly, Michigan State's probably going to turn the ball over less. But for now, this is just my rough draft. I'm going to go with Michigan State. Gonzaga versus Arkansas. I got to go with Gonzaga. I don't think Arkansas can keep up with Gonzaga. I don't think Arkansas can keep up with Gonzaga. I'm going to go with the Zags. Texas Tech versus Michigan State. Texas Tech kind of got embarrassed by Kansas. I mean, Kansas is a phenomenal team, don't get me wrong. But part of me wants to move Michigan State to the Elite Eight, but Even as a diehard Michigan State fan, I even know that those dreams are not going to happen, most likely. Texas Tech will win this game. I feel like Michigan State, though, puts up a very good fight. Gonzaga versus Texas Tech. Gonzaga, I think, easily takes this entire division. I think their one close game, to be quite honest, is Boise State. I think Texas Tech could give them a close game. I think they destroy Arkansas, and they destroy Georgia State. I think Boise State's going to be their closest game. So Gonzaga to the Final Four. And now the East Division, which this is my favorite division. This is the division, besides the Midwest, where I think a Cinderella of sorts. Not the Midwest, the East, or the South. In the East, Baylor versus Norfolk State. I think Baylor wins. I think Norfolk State puts up a fight for the first half, and then Baylor walks away within the second. North Carolina and Marquette. I had North Carolina before the ACC tournament going far. I really had them going far. But you know what? Marquette's a streaky team. They haven't looked good in 3 weeks. But they're my boys. I gotta take Marquette in this toss-up game. I've just got to. St. Mary's versus Wyoming or Indiana. First of all, I'm sorry. Indiana is gonna beat Wyoming, and they will beat St. Mary's to move on to the round of 32. UCLA and Akron. Gotta take UCLA. They're this year. They've been injured, but I don't think Akron can stand much of a chance. I think they put up a fight like Norfolk State for the first half, but then they just kind of get blown out in the second half. Texas versus Virginia Tech. It was funny when I was watching this. I told the people I was watching this with, watching the reveal show, whoever plays Texas right here, I'm gonna take. Whoever's the number 11 seed, I'll take. And I thought Virginia Tech. I thought they were gonna go far, and turns out Virginia Tech played Texas, and that was the easiest pick for me of the entire day. It really was. Texas is gonna get embarrassed in the first round. They should not even be a top 10 seed. Texas A&M, they should have just added an A&M right there. But I can't decide that, so Virginia Tech I have moving on. Purdue and Yale, Purdue. Murray State, San Francisco, Murray State. I think San Francisco puts a fight, but I have Murray State. Kentucky easily knocks off St. Peter's. Yeah, I realize I can't be elaborating on all these games. That'll be for a different video, but Baylor, Marquette. So, call me crazy. Call me crazy. Baylor's hurt. They're looking not that good. I have Marquette beating Baylor. Trust me, Marquette's going to go on the biggest run of their entire lives. I have Marquette winning that game. In this game, call me crazy, I have Indiana knocking off UCLA. Indiana's looking fantastic. They lost to the Big Ten champions. I have Indiana. They barely lost to the Big Ten champions. I have Indiana moving on to the Sweet 16. Virginia Tech, Purdue. Purdue. I think Virginia Tech's offense is way too good. I don't think Purdue can keep up. Virginia Tech I have moving on. Murray State, Kentucky. I want to say Murray State. I really do. I think it comes down to the buzzer. I think Kentucky, though, is just too experienced to be denied. The Sweet 16, Marquette and Indiana. Sadly, I think this is where my Marquette team ends its streak. And I think Indiana will move on to the Elite Eight from here. Virginia Tech, Kentucky. I think it's a very close game, but I feel like Virginia Tech's three-point shot will overpower Kentucky to lead them to a victory. Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech versus Indiana in the Elite Eight. I think Virginia Tech will easily... I think this is going to be an easier game for them than Kentucky. I think Virginia Tech wins, but I feel like Indiana puts up a fight for the first 30 minutes like Arkansas, or like Boise would against Gonzaga. Now to the South. I gotta hurry this up. I didn't realize how much time I was taking. I think Arizona beats Wright State. I think TCU knocks off Seton Hall because I think TCU can get hot at the right moment. And I think they can barely do enough to beat Seton Hall. Houston, UAB. Jelly fam, UAB is going to win this game. I can guarantee it. Illinois, Chattanooga. Illinois wins, but I think Chattanooga puts up a very strong fight. A very strong fight. I don't think Illinois is good this year, really. Colorado State, Michigan. Michigan should not even be in this bracket. So that's why Colorado State's moving on. Tennessee, Longwood. Tennessee easily. They got severely underseeded. Ohio State, Loyola Chicago. I'm telling you what, Ohio State's injured, They're not looking that great. Loyola Chicago moves on. Villanova, Delaware. I got Nova moving on. Arizona, TCU. I really want to say TCU wins this game. I really do. But I can't deny how good Arizona really is. So I gotta take Arizona. UAB, Illinois. This is a guarantee. If UAB plays Illinois, I guarantee Jellyfan will show up and he will knock off Illinois. That's a guarantee. UAB to the Sweet 16. Colorado State, Tennessee. This is a pretty easy pick. Tennessee. Colorado State looked meh in the Mountain West. So yeah, Tennessee. Loyola Chicago, Villanova. I really think Loyola Chicago knocks off Villanova. Villanova's looked meh. I mean, Loyola Chicago's also looked meh. But I feel like it's one last Cinderella run for Loyola Chicago. Arizona versus UAB. I want to say UAB. I really do. More than TCU. But again, Arizona's greatness cannot be denied. Tennessee versus Loyola Chicago. I gotta take Tennessee. I really do. I really do. And Tennessee versus Arizona. I actually think Tennessee knocks off Arizona. I think Tennessee wins this division. I think the toughest game. I think the Loyola Chicago game is going to be tough. I really do. But I think Tennessee wins this division. Whoever wins between Tennessee and Loyola Chicago, I'm going to be rooting for against Arizona. Unless the winner of Tennessee, Loyola Chicago plays UAB. Then it's UAB all the way, baby. The Midwest. Kansas versus Texas Southern. I got Kansas winning this game, low-key. Yeah, that's not low-key, but... I have San Diego State beating Creighton. Iowa beating Richmond. Providence beating South Dakota State. Iowa State beating LSU just because they don't have a coach. Wisconsin beating Colgate. USC beating Miami. Auburn beating Jackson State. I have Kansas State beating San Diego State. Iowa beating Providence. I have Wisconsin knocking off Iowa State. Auburn knocking off USC. Here is where I have Iowa beating Kansas. Again, like I'll do a whole video about why I think my Final Four teams are gonna be where they are, but I was looking really good right now. I have Iowa knocking off Kansas. Wisconsin versus Auburn. I got Wisconsin winning this game. I got Auburn just going to the Sweet 16 just because they have a really easy route. I think Baylor has a much rougher route, and Gonzaga have a rougher route than Auburn, to be quite honest. And then I have Iowa beating Wisconsin, just because Iowa's hot right now. The Final Four, Gonzaga, Virginia Tech, Tennessee, Iowa. I got Virginia Tech knocking off Gonzaga. I really do. I think they're going to ride their hot streak till the championship game. I really think they are. Gonzaga, it'll that game really could go either way. But I like Virginia Tech right now over Gonzaga. Tennessee, Iowa. I have Iowa knocking off Tennessee just because I watched both games today, right? Tennessee, Iowa. Iowa kept up with a much better Purdue team than Tennessee destroyed the Texas A&M. Like, I don't know what the words to describe it. I think Iowa, though, knocks off Tennessee to set up a championship game between Iowa and Virginia Tech. And I have Iowa winning this game. I think Iowa is set up nicely to win the entire thing. I think their bracket is kind enough to win the entire thing. And I just think they're going to be a fun team to watch. I really want them... I kind of want them to play Arizona. Just because I feel like that game could easily get into the 90s. That'd be a 100% over. Like, you would take that as an over. That game would just be so fun to watch. So, anyways, guys, if you like this content and want more like this, subscribe, leave a like, comment, and without any further ado, this is Talladega signing out. Laters.